an evacuation center. But right now, let's. What you're seeing though is a view from up top from Marcona and Sky 5. What are you showing us, Mark?
Yeah, Chris, have a look at this. This is going to be Agoura Hills, Oak Park, that neighborhood there, just north of the 101 freeway here, where we have several structures fully involved in fire. Unfortunately, total losses at this point here, but yeah, this is a neighborhood that is really being devastated, or a flank of the fire that is really devastating this particular neighborhood here. You can see several structures. We've seen outbuildings. We've seen what we believe to be a barn on fire here, part of a horse property or a ranch-style property here. But again, this one, have a look at that. Just complete devastation here. This fire fully involved, and several structures on this particular property here, and adjacent structures all burning down to the ground here. This has been burning for probably about 30 to 45 minutes at this point here, at the very least here. But you can see where this fire went from one structure to the next, to the next, to the next, and now it's caught on to that main structure there, and that main structure is really going up. Now, if we pull to a slightly wider shot, maybe we could give you a little bit of perspective here. Again, we're talking about Oak Park, we're talking about Agoura Hills, and this is in that little valley just on the kind of the west side of Bell Canyon, and looking off towards the San Fernando Valley there. You can see that line of fire here, and again, we are in Oak Park, looking off to the east. Now, kind of to the top left, that's going to be the West Valley here, the West San Fernando Valley, and that's the valley you can see all the way to the left. The fire line to the left, that's going to be a little bit more towards Rocketdyne, and so you can see that line of fire extends for several miles from Rocketdyne almost down to the 101 freeway near Las Virgenes here. So just to give you some perspective, this fire is really just a massive sight to behold, and this is just one flank of the fire here. This is just one flank of the fire over on the east side, because over on the west side near the Westlake Village Thousand Oaks border, there is an equal column of flames extending from the north all the way down to the south over towards Hillcrest, over down towards the 101. And so you can see the kind of the scope of the fire here. It is just massive, guys.
Absolutely. Mark, we appreciate your photos or your video that you're giving us, the perspective. We want to go over to Liberty Chan because of thousands and thousands of families have been evacuating, and they're going to various evacuation centers. She's at the Goebel Center in Thousand Oaks, where at last check, Liberty, I heard it was actually at capacity. Is that the case?
You know, there are hundreds of people here. I've been covering fires for a very long time. Usually evacuation centers are empty. Not the case here. We are talking about at least over 500 people. We have a ton of adults, seniors, children. Also, their dogs are here. They're all trying to possibly get some sleep. They all have their eyes glued on the TV. It's actually on Channel 5 here. And I'm just talking to people who have been here pretty much all night long, and it's been a really tough couple days for them. In the background, I can see the glow from all the flames, that we can flip around right there. So I can also smell the smoke. It's pretty windy here as well, but it's the smoke. It's really thick and really very pungent. It's difficult to breathe, I would say. With me here right now, I have Carlos de los Rios. Now, you've lived in this area for how long?
27 years.
And you're concerned about your house.
Yeah, the hillside right behind our house erupted, and it just exploded all of a sudden, and it was raining embers, and we were ready and packed to leave.
You and your wife had packed the car, and you were waiting for what?
Well, we were under the impression that the fire was a lot farther east in Agoura Hills. That's all the coverage we were seeing. And I stepped outside the house. I noticed the glow behind a hill, and it started getting smoky, and I thought, uh-oh. And so we started getting ready at that point to leave, and then kaboom, the whole hillside had just exploded. And it started raining embers, and that's when we drove down and got and left.
Now talk to me about the emotions, because I know this community has seen a lot in the last couple days.
Yeah, I don't know. We're all just numb. You talk to everybody around here. I mean, starting with the shooting, and then during the day, we could see the smoke starting to come because the winds were picking up, and that happens. We're almost used to that because the Santa Anas come every year, but they've never encroached on the city like this. Yeah.
Have you ever seen this bad?
Not in Thousand Oaks, around the surrounding area, yes, but it's never encroached into our neighborhood like this.
Are you concerned about your house right now?
Very. When we left The hillside behind us was on fire. The flames were about 50 feet behind our house. And we left, and the trucks didn't arrive for another 5-10 minutes. So there wasn't anyone fighting at the time.
Thank you so much for telling me your story. Try to get some rest. Thank you. But his story, like so many others, people are just here. They're concerned about their house. They're concerned about their family. But pretty much it looks like and it sounds like everyone has left the area due to those mandatory evacuations. They're coming here. They're going to friends' houses. They're doing what they can to stay safe. That is the very latest from Thousand Oaks. I'm Liberty Chan, sending it back to you.
All right, Liberty, thank you. That view from Mark Kono. Mark, can you kind of show, or tell us rather, what direction are you shooting and what is it that we're seeing right there?
Yeah, you bet. We're on the northern section of Oak Park in Agoura Hills, looking south. So, okay, let me do this. Let's widen out the shot and show them the 101 freeway right there at Las Virgenes, because a lot of people will know that as a landmark here. So that's just going to be to the left. So there's the 101 freeway moving left to right, and that's Las Virgenes. Now, if you go away from the 101, of course, that's going to be Las Virgenes going into Malibu Canyon. So if you come northbound, in other words, towards us along Las Virgenes from the 101, that is what we're looking at right there. So there's the perspective shot. Now, to the bottom left of the shot, that's going to be in the hills just above like Bell Canyon. You can see this flank of the fire from Oak Park, from Agoura Hills. And as you move gently over to the top right, that's kind of the southern, southwesterly movement of the fire here and over towards the 101. So, of course, the fear is that this fire could get closer to the 101 freeway, perhaps jump the 101 at that point. But yeah, just to give you some perspective, this line of fire extends from several miles from the northern part of the San Fernando Valley, where it started near Rocketdyne over in the Chatsworth area, all the way down too close, well, very within a mile or so of the 101 freeway here. So, and this again is just the eastern flank of the fire here. It is literally burning the interior of the hillside here. So that's going to be off to the west over towards areas like, again, we're talking about Oak Park, Agoura Hills. We're talking about Westlake Village all the way over to Thousand Oaks. So again, if we kind of move the shot, let's widen out the shot, Rich, and move it all the way out to the west here. Let's see if we can show them that western flank of the fire here. Now we're looking several miles now off to the west, and you can see off into the distance there now. At the top of the screen, those city lights, that's Thousand Oaks. On this side of the fire, that's going to be Westlake Village. And so you can see that line of fire extending from left to right. So that's what we're looking at 7,000 feet up from Sky 5 HD. That fire right there is burning right along Westlake Boulevard here. The north edge of Westlake Boulevard is going to be off to the right and moving south, in other words, to the left. That is going to be down towards a hillcrest, down towards the 101 freeway. And so you can see kind of the scope of the fire here. It is massive. You can see kind of the ring from the west side of the valley over 2,000 Oaks and everything in between. And this fire, thanks to the winds, is really just kind of hopscotching. We have a lot of kind of hot spots in the area there, and that is going to be, again, Agoura Hills over towards Westlake Village, and you can see that kind of just to the right center, you can see that hot spot over there. That's going to be Westlake Boulevard here, just north of Canaan Road, and so that is an area where we saw a few houses going up as well. So you can see kind of the scope of the fire extending for several miles, leaving essentially Westlake Village, Agoura Hills, Oak Park, and kind of a bowl between the top end of the fire all the way down to the 101. Guys?
Wow, that's an incredible idea of what those widespread areas. You talk about Westlake Boulevard, right at Westlake Boulevard, right about Canaan Road. So, north of the 101 freeway, obviously the concern of it jumping. It's interesting, Mark, how you show such a wide area where fire is untouched. And that's why we're looking at your shot, and then maybe we can split screen so we can look at a map as well. So here is what we're dealing with. You see all the different spots of fires. I'll just go from right to left so that you know. We've been talking about that 118 freeway, the 118 moving east, the heavier side. Yosemite Drive Avenue off-ramp is officially closed, and that closure is because of a brand new spot fire that had erupted. So that's the reason everybody has that. They have that shut down. The problem is getting units to put out any of those spot fires along the 118. Remember, that's also a very windy spot. And then we'll drop you down to the south now and show you that first fire flame bug that you see to the right. That would be the closure on the northern end, just a little bit northwest of where Mark is and what he's looking at. That closure starts at about the 23 Rancho Road, and then it continues all the way up to Lewis Road. There is a portion of the 126 that is closed as well. And then on that southern end, the closure for you extends right at about Lewis Road all the way to the 23. And then we know portions of the 23 leading everybody to the 101 are closed as well. But we have so many things closed. And then the 126, let me just clarify, it's west at Briggs Road that is closed over to the 118 freeway. And then again, portions of the 118 closed, all because of these different, because of the fire, but also how widespread it is when we're talking about those really strong winds. And all right, and so guys, I'll send it back to you.
All
We'll
right.
keep following that.
Thank you so much for that, Ginger. Our Eric Spillman is.
We're gonna bail out of here soon.
Are you, Eric? We're coming to you right now. Do you wanna regroup, or do you want us to? Do you wanna do a report for us?
No, it's really scary here. We're on the 101 freeway right at Chesborough Road in Agoura Hills. You look back over there is where the freeway is, and it's just basically a firestorm. The winds are super strong here. The fire burning right down to the freeway. We're not going to be able to spend much longer here. I think we're going to leave soon. They're bringing in helicopters. There's one over here to make a drop, but it is just roaring down that hillside. There were a bunch of horses on top of that hill, and they're making a drop there now to try and stop it. But there were horses on that hill, and people were trying to save them and walking them away. There's a water drop right there, but they couldn't even save them. The fire came up over the hill, and I'm sure those animals were all killed by that fire that just came roaring down. We got a bunch of people who are parked over here. Let's come on over and talk to them. How you doing? Where do you live?
This is my office over here.
Yeah.
And we were evacuated from our house. We thought we'd come and hide in the office or just shelter in the office. And look at what, but I got footage of the horses up there.
Yeah, the horses, I think those horses are, I don't know that they survived.
Well, it looked as if they chased them down the hill. Yeah, we thought we'd come and stay in the office for tonight, but it's worse here, so we'll just go back home.
I don't know how much longer it's going to be safer to stay here. I mean, this thing is huge.
This is no good. If it jumps the freeway, I'm in trouble because my office is right there. I have a whole data center there.
Right. You've packed up all your belongings in your car here. Where do you live?
Thousand Oaks.
Thousand Oaks.
Yeah, we're in the evacuation area.
I think I know you.
Yeah, I think I know you.
KTLA.
Yes, from KTLA, yes.
What's your name again?
So where are you going to go? I mean, I'm Eric. You're just going to hang out here for a while?
Well, we're going to get out of the smoke area and see if we can find some cleaner air, and we'll just sit and wait it out.
Okay.
There's not much we can do.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Good luck to you. Yeah, now we're seeing the fire approach the 101 freeway even closer. I mean, we were back over on that side of the freeway off of Chesborough Road there and by a gas station, and it just came so quickly that we had to get out. And it's just this huge column of smoke. It just came right up over the hill there. We've seen one fire department helicopter make a water drop, but it seems like it might be, the winds might be too high for them to actually fly here. I'm not sure, but it is just a remarkable and scary fire here. And lots of people are waiting alongside the road over here who've evacuated their homes. Let's come on over here and talk to these folks. Where are you from?
San Fernando Valley. Yeah,
So do you live over here or what?
No, I'm over in the West Hills area, but
You live over
I
here?
live in Old Agoura.
In Old Agoura? What's
Yeah.
it like up there?
It's really creepy down there, man. It's all burnt out. Not burnt out, but it's all dark and there's a lot of, amber in the sky. It's really eerie.
Did you leave your house?
Yep. Well, my house is right up over on Foothill. Just driving out of there.
What are you going to do now? Where are you going?
Well, my house is on fire. So this will probably cool off in a little bit of hope.
Yeah, so do I. All right, thanks for talking to us. Good night. Yeah, just really heavy winds and lots of smoke coming over this direction. We saw the helicopter. Yeah, here's another chopper coming in. This is another one, but not maybe. They're picking up water from where?
Malibu Lake.
So they're picking up water, he says, from Malibu Lake, and then coming around and trying to drop on this section. And again, the freeway is open here. They haven't closed off the freeway, but and that guy is going to come over and make a water drop. They haven't closed the freeway, but it is burning very, very close to the freeway here. There's a good water drop that they made over there. So they're trying to stop it from approaching the freeway.